Hello, I'm Hamsong, and now let's begin to the fifth question in the second homework. It is that for if fx equals a times x squared, for the magnitude of x is less than and equals to 1, and fx will be 0. In other region in the other region. The first question is that find a so that fx is density function. So let's begin. In order for fx to be a density function, the integration from 0 to 1 of a times x squared should be 1 over 2, since fx equals f of minus x. It is a even function, so we can get that integration from 0 to 1, a times x squared dx equals a over 3. This integration equals 1 over 2. Finally, we get that a equals 3 over 2. And the second question is M is defined in this region. It requests us to find and draw f of x conditioned in M. Since from the first question we know that a equals 3 over 2, so fx equals 3 over 2 times x squared for the magnitude of x is less than and equals 1. And according to fx, we can get the capital F of x equals the integration of the fx, and finally we get that it is 1 over 3 times 3 to 1 over 3 times x to 3. And since according to this probability, f of x conditioned by M equals this one, we can get f of x conditioned by M in this question. Firstly, we consider the first region. For fx is larger than -1 and less than -0.5. Substitute -1 and -0.5 into fx, we get that f of -1 equals -1 over 3, and f of -0.5 equals -1 over 24. So we get, according to this property, we get that f of x conditioned by M equals 0 for x is less than -1, and equals to this formula. The formula when x is larger than -1 and less than -0.5, and it also becomes 0 when x is larger than -0.5. And we substitute fx, f of -0.5 and f of -1 into this formula. We can get that when x is less than -1, it still is 0. Also does x is larger than -0.5, and when x is larger than -1 and less than -0.5, it will be 36 over 7 times x squared. So let's consider the second part. For x is larger than 0.5 and is less than 1. Also, we can get that f1 equals 1 over 3 and f of 0.5 equals 1 over 24. So also according to this property, we can get that f of x conditioned by m equals 0 for x is less than 0.5 and equals to this formula for x is larger than 0.5 and less than 1, and it is also 0 for x is larger than 1, and also substitute the values of these functions, we can get this expression. So add this expression and this expression up and sketch them in a figure. We can get this graph. It is a graph of f of x conditioned by m. Here from -1 to -0.5, and here is 0.5 to 0.5 to 1, and this value is 9 over 7, and this value here is 36 over 7. Thank you.